Today's episode of Reality with the King. Alexis, Jansen, and I are back to recap episode 2 of season 15. Is this wait, what season is this?
It's
15, I
season
think.
15. Trust yourself. You're right.
Okay, I got a little nervous. Look, I like to be right because we know the raindrops love to tell us when we're wrong. So this is episode 2 of season 15 of Beverly Hills Housewives. Alexis, you look as gorgeous as ever.
You got the cream memo. We're both wearing cream today. I love it. You got a little white. You look
Yeah, yeah. This is
you look
cream.
smashing too, honey.
Well, look, you look so damn good last week. I had to come on wearing my Sunday's best in honor of Rachel Zoe. So we just have to get right into it. So the episode kicks off. First of all, Alexis, can we marvel at how palatial Rachel's home is? I'm obsessed with her house.
Okay, everyone feels this, including me. And it's her rental home. Okay, it's like she's paying more than my mortgage would be to own this home, and for a rental. She's paying like 30,000 a month, probably. That's crazy. My neighbor rents out his house for 14,000 a month, and we're not in Bel Air, and it does not look like that. Even though his house is gorgeous too, but 15,000 a month. What is that? That has to be 30 grand.
No,
Just saying.
honey, by far with the pool and like the architect of it gives you like
Yes.
Italy, France. It's it's
Yep.
it's a gorgeous home.
Open. It's so open, and like when you walk in, you're like, whoa, Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, yeah. So no, honey, Rachel Zoe is earning her diamond, and we're only in episode 2, Raindrops. It's the fact that Rachel Zoe has a fourth job. She's a mother, she's a fashionista, she's an entrepreneur, but she's also a bus driver because she is throwing her ex-husband Roger under the bus and steamrolling that motherfucker. I mean, Alexis. I mean,
I
she, honey, she ain't playing
I
with
have to
giving
be
us the
honest with
tea.
you. I have to
Ooh,
be honest with you, and I
wow.
love Rachel. I am all about Rachel. I am going to be so starstruck if I ever get to meet her. Please, God willing. Um, yeah. So I cringe a little bit every time she throws him under the bus because I know her children only because not because I cringe about her. Okay, hear me
Right.
out. Not because
Okay.
I cringe about her. I cringe about her words because you cannot talk like that about your ex-husband and the father of your children. It doesn't matter what you think because at one point in their life they're going to be able to hear it or see it at some point. Yes, she probably does not allow them to watch it now, which I did not either, but they can still Google anything they want about me, and anything I said is there forever about their ex. Like, oh, do you feel that or do you not?
No, no, no. Listen, I actually agree with you in the sense of like, look, when I look at Rachel, I look at a woman whose heart was broken at the hands of her ex-husband.
100%.
And look, in a funny way, she still is not telling us everything that happened and allowing us to take some of what she's dropping the breadcrumbs and allowing us to make our own stuffing for Thanksgiving. But I do agree with you that look, based on her son last episode saying to us pretty much that he prefers to be around his mother than his dad, and that I like my dad without saying like, no, I love him. It appears that Roger may not be the person who we all thought he was. Watching the Rachel Zoe project for the 6 seasons that it was on. But what is so fascinating to me is the fact that she's heartbroken, and it appears to me that allegedly, he may have cheated on her.
Oh,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah,
my brain never went there.
yeah.
Wow, Carlos, but
Allegedly, that's the kind of because the thing is this. The thing is this. The thing is this.
uh,
Hear me out, raindrops. Hear me out. Alexis, you've experienced a divorce, and I would love to get your insight because I thought about you the whole time watching the show,
oh
obviously.
God.
Because I'm sort of like, I want to know. if I'm on track when
We
I
are
say
really
that.
in bed together if you're thinking about me while you're watching this damn episode, okay?
No, look, John, Alicia can know that there'll be no rising of me in bed if I'm next to him.
It's too early in the morning, Carlos. I tell you all the time we have too much fun. This is dying. Okay, keep going.
So he
Go with
doesn't
your
have to
thought.
worry about anything rising but the sun. Okay, in the morning if I'm in the bed with Alexis Jansen. Okay. All right, Alexis, hear me out. You're a woman. You went through a divorce. You also know women who have been divorced. The reason why I feel like, okay, it must be infidelity to me, allegedly, because if Rachel got a divorce because, you know what, we outgrew each other. We were together for 33 years. Nothing bad happened. We just kind of like outgrew each other. I don't think the way her angst when she talks about how fast he moved on will cut as deep. Because if you're okay with the fact that, listen, we're two people who grew apart, you will want your friend who is your ex to move on. She's not happy that he's moved on fast. She does talk about the fact that, he dated 4 months after their separation. It does appear that, based on what she's saying to me, I feel like it's signs of a woman who may have been cheated on. And cheating could be sexual, it could be text messaging, it could be anything. But I believe that he had allegedly dealings with another woman only because the way Rachel, like you said, is throwing him under the bus, knowing they have children who are tech savvy to watch this online, um, is because of those reasons.
Oh, boo. I never thought of it like that. But you know what? She is showing the signs of bitterness of a woman who has been cheated on. You are absolutely right. Because us as women, um, even if you aren't still in love with your husband or your boyfriend or your partner, I no person wants that to be the reason. It's just like you may never want to go back to your career, but you also don't want your career to fire you, kind of thing. It's like
Mm,
you it's the same kind of concept. Like people don't want to be dumped or cheated on, even if they aren't in love. So or have fallen out of love. So I think both are true, Carlos. I think they had outgrown each other probably.
yeah,
They had lost that respect factor, as you could tell in some of their filming that they did. I didn't watch the Rachel Zoe before, like I told you that, but they do the flashbacks to it. They'd lost the respect for each other a little bit, which I think is that's honestly one of the biggest things in a marriage is once that respect starts going and trust starts going, the rest of the
yeah,
relationship, it just is a slow decline or a fast decline. But you're absolutely right. I think that might be it. When you keep saying allegedly, that's
yeah,
usually because you know or have heard
yeah.
something. I haven't heard that rumor.
Well, the thing is this, the thing is this, the thing is this. When it comes to going down the rabbit hole, that I like to do is this. In Rachel's defense, she never used the word cheated, so I want to make sure that I do say that. She never used the word cheated.
Okay.
But if you look at some of the things that have been reported on, it does appear that people are alleging that he did cheat on her, and that's the reason why she has said things. Listen, she's criticizing Roger for publicizing his new relationship, telling him to use your fucking head, right?
Hmm. All
These
the
just
guys are
aren't.
doing this right now, though, Carlos. All the guys are publicizing. PK's on the street kissing Mauricio with. Now he is. It's like, what is wrong with these men? It's a little bit. That's cringeworthy too, by the way. It seems the cringe is the word I'm using right now, but I don't know. It's like keep your private life until that person is your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner.
Well, let's get into it. And that's a perfect transition, Alexa Jansen, as we talk about Kyle and Mauricio scene. You want to talk about cringe? That scene to me was cringeworthy, and this is why. Kyle, who is my favorite housewife that's on air that I haven't worked with, I love her so much. You talk about being starstruck meeting Rachel Zell. If I met the icon legend Kyle Richards, I will shit my pants.
I will
Shout out to
introduce you,
Sonia
and
Morgan.
I will request the photo for you. You will not need
Thank
to
you.
say a word. I will do it all for you, Carlos. Okay.
Thank you. She follows me on Instagram, so that's a good first step.
Yay. Oh,
Okay.
good deal.
It's a good first step. So make it happen, Alexis. Okay.
All
Here,
right,
here
I'll
we go.
text her
Here we go. Here
today.
we go.
Okay.
I agree with you when it comes to Roger, PK, and Mauricio. These men have moved on. They moved on. They are enjoying being single post 50, right? They are, and listen, I hate to say this because it's just listen, it's the harsh reality. Dorit and Kyle, these men don't want you anymore. They just don't. Even when Kyle said something along the lines of how, when she sees Mauricio move on, she now realizes there's no hope of fixing things in the future. And to your point, to Alexa's point last week, you did say, no, Carlos, I think Kyle wants Mauricio back. I'm like, no, but I was wrong. She does. He doesn't want you back, Kyle, and you and I'm listen. This is so mean, but I'm not being mean to Kyle. I'm being my my truth may come across me. Mauricio is living his best life, and his best life doesn't involve Kyle at this moment, and that's the harsh reality that I
Okay.
think Kyle realizes that this man has moved on. And although I have dated someone else, we'll get to that later, I still love him.
Are you ready?
Give it
Because
to me.
Lex is going to give it another whole nother aspect to this. Okay.
Give it to me.
Okay. First of all, I think these people, these men, I should say, are going through a midlife crisis. It's when you said 50 just now, they're all at 50 doing this. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, midlife crisis. They're halfway to 100. They're going to die croak between 70 and 100. So here we go. They're going through their midlife crisis. They're going to go buy a new Lamborghini. They're going to get the 30-year-old girl. They're going to go shop at only Louis and Gucci, and we'll wrap it all up in a bow. And that's the package we're watching. Okay. However, I Carlos, I do see a time, and I was right last week. So mark my words, Sonny boy. Um, okay, there's a chance that Mauricio could go through all of this. And you're like, people are like, well, how can you ever forgive that and move on? You can. When you've been with someone and you were with them since you were 25 and you guys decided you needed to have the break and you did the break and you tried it, I'm telling you, I think he's gonna get bored of the 30-year-olds. I don't think Mauricio, when you look at the way Kyle looks at Mauricio, and what they've built together, he's not going to get that from the 30-year-olds. He's getting a little bit of a JJ that feels good and it's young and youthful and this and that. But Kyle's got
What's
the
a JJ?
the JJ.
Oh, but JJ.
The JJ is a
You
polite
said
way on a network to
no.
say vagina. Okay, let me just
I
help
thought you
out
were. I thought you
everyone.
said JJ instead of BJ. But go
No,
ahead.
but JJ. Anyway, he's getting useful, but JJ.
Okay.
Maybe Kyle should just go nip and tuck it a little bit down there. And then I really do believe that there's a time and a place that they can get back together. I do. And I see the way that even though he's kind of was on that couch, and you know me, I scrutinize their looks. I scrutinize the way that they look at each other. I
Yeah.
could see it in Kyle last week when I said that. I said she's still in love with him and wants him back, even though she's dipping in other pools and trying out other things and is obviously bisexual, Angelina or Brad. However,
Right.
that doesn't mean that the love of your life is not the man that you married and are in a separation with. The other key to that, the other thing I heard was when Kyle goes, Mauricio was supposed to stay in the high rise. And then we were going to reevaluate this separation, but he went and bought a bachelor pad behind my back. That's not verbatim, by the way. That's just what I just remember from watching it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that in my mind, I was like, she was hoping that they would do this little separation thing. And before he bought a house or rented a new one, we'd be back in together. Ah, hmm
No, listen.
I need to drink water after that.
Baby, sip the H2O and not the HO that Mauricio was saying he's in his whole era. No, the thing is this: you're right from the perspective of Kyle. It's evident that Kyle still is in love with him, and Marie. Listen, speaking as a man,
Mm,
and ladies, listen up.
uh,
I'm gonna be very honest,
I'm
ladies.
scared.
Anytime you give a man, whether it's your husband, fiance, or boyfriend, the chance to see other people, he's going to run with it in his new red Ferrari and date the younger women, taste young BJJ, and do everything under the sun. I think to your point, because now I like I said, I agree with you. I think Kyle being emotional was sort of like, let's just figure it out, get the high rise, I'll keep the house. I have all the towels from Bed Bath to Beyond, right? I got all the towels, and then I think Mauricio felt like he was free at last, and he's able to do it because this is the thing, and this is gonna sound so again mean, but I'm just being honest, guys. If you ever met Mauricio Umansky, he is a 10 out of 10,
So
and
is Kyle, which is what I
no, no,
was going to
no.
say.
I know, but you know in society, and this is the harsh reality. It's much easier for a man in his 50s to score a younger woman in her 30s. It's much easier for a man to go out there and date anything walking, especially when he has money. When a woman has money over 50, you're not going to always get the man that you want because of just how society is set up. Society is set up, Alexis, to where it is much harder. You are a unicorn because you're gorgeous and you found the love of your life. And
And mind you, he's 14 years older than me. So to your point, yeah, he's 50 in my third. I was 30. When he's in his 50s, I'm in my 30. You know, he's 52.
yeah,
Do the math. It's like, so yeah, to your point, you're right. But I think women also like we mature faster. I
totally.
I said when I met John, I was like, the reason I was like, I'll never date him. We're only going to be friends. And I really loved his personality at the beginning. I'm like, I'm never going over 55 again. I was married to a 62-year-old before that. Jim's the same age as John right now. So it's like I was 14 years above before. I'm not going over 55. I was engaged to a 40, somebody that was only 2 years younger than me. But you know what it is, Carlos? Women like the like kind of like the just the substan like I don't know how to explain it. It's just I didn't think I'd go back with older, and I'm married
Mhm.
to him now. So I think you're right about that. That's the way society does, and I think women do mature faster and like the older man. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. And I think that's why, look, when Mauricio asked Kyle, are you dating anybody? And she just like, no, I'm single. I haven't gone on any dates. I think, and this is where I'm going to have to kind of be on Mauricio's side, raindrops.
Yeah. Hmm.
This is kind of when, Mauricio is looking at Kyle, and Kyle's like, I tried it with this woman. It didn't work out. And now I want to be back with my ex-husband, you know? And I
I
think
think
Mauricio's like, sorry, I'm not there yet.
and but I think he might get there. I still do, and we're gonna watch this unfold in 2 or 3 years, and you might be like,
Yeah,
Lex, you were right all along. But I think
yeah,
Kyle would still actually be with that woman, as we will see later as we keep going through this episode.
yeah,
The final scene kind of nails that for me, but then like definitely nails that on the wall that okay, she would still be with this person who didn't like the limelight and couldn't do it, and being in love with someone as at a celebrity level of Kyle Richards is got to be difficult. I mean, you got to be all in. You almost have to be a celebrity yourself because you have to be used to the cameras, the action, and all that. You
mhm,
know,
mhm.
and the person that Kyle was with obviously was not, and didn't
Yeah,
couldn't take it.
yeah, and we'll get into that too. Finishing off with Mauricio, there, he and Kyle started talking about PK and Dorit, and this was the part that I was like, my girls are down bad, and these men are living their best life. Kyle's like, yeah, Dorit's kind of sad because she is trying to figure things out with PK, and Mauricio's like, Dorit is living in a different reality because PK has moved on. And I'm like, look, the reality is this. Roger making out, Rachel Zoe's ex-husband, having another relationship in 4 months, being separated. Mauricio kissing women in valet. PK kissing women on the streets of Los Angeles. These men have moved on, and I think we look at Dorit talking about PK and how she filed for divorce the day after she found him kissing another woman. That's my point. These men don't want y'all. They just don't, and that's sad to hear, and it sucks. Mauricio's having man talk with PK, and it's like, what reality is Dorit living in? PK's happy. PK is happy, and PK, we'll get to the scene later. PK wants to see Dorit suffer.
Oh gosh. Well, you can't say that and then say, "Oh, we'll talk about it later."
Go ahead,
I mean,
baby.
hello, that's like giving me an ice cream cone and saying, "Don't take a lick, honey." I mean, come on.
Take a look at it. Keep on sticking. Go ahead, Alexa.
Okay. Okay, so wow. Okay, here's the thing, Carlos. I think that the men may think that it's all rainbows right now and that they're living their best life right now because it's
Yeah.
all new and fresh. But even the newest armpit starts to stink. Okay. So I feel as if these men, that's all new. Everything that comes out of my brain, I promise you, I don't even know where that came from and if it even makes sense. But anyway, my brain goes crazy. Try living in my brain, Carlos. That would, God, no one wants
Oh,
to be
baby,
there.
it'll be a
No.
playground of fun. Go ahead.
So I think that it's going to get old. I think that there's a very good chance they could never land someone like a Kyle or a Dorit or a Rachel Zoe fully and in the full package that they could have had with the mother of their children, the safety, the security of knowing that you guys are life partners. I don't think that because guess what? If this 50-year-old's going to date a 30-year-old, okay, let's play it forward 10 years.
Hmm.
Now she's 40, he's 60. I think there's a good chance now she's going to be you get them how you lose them, babe. So there's a chance that when she gets a little bit older, she's then going to be like, kind of want to date someone more my age, kind of want to do this,
Hmm.
Just saying. So be careful, men who are kissing
No.
out there on the streets. Be careful. And also get a hotel room.
And stop calling TMZ. Okay, so because come on.
Touche.
Okay, so moving on to Sutton and Erica are trying to establish a burgeoning friendship. Um, they're both Southern gals, and listen, Garcelle's no longer there, so it gives Sutton an opportunity to forge a friendship with the women she wanted since she started the show. So up next is Erica. So she's doing a spot thing with Erica Jane, and the subject of Tom comes up. It was you. You got a chance to really see something in Erica Jane that I always felt like she really did feel, but unfortunately, due to I'm just gonna say it, due to the public scrutiny of what he did that was abhorrent, stealing from orphans and victims, right? I think, although that is extremely horrible and the book has been thrown at him, you can't negate the feelings you have for somebody. It doesn't go away that fast. And I think Erica, unfortunately, was dealing with the public scrutiny of what her husband did, and she knew that it was bad. However, this man did change her life. And you can't fall out of love with somebody that you've been with for more than 20 years because he did something horrible. You have to allow yourself to heal through the pain of that, but you also kind of want to help him. And that's why you always saw Erica struggle with acknowledging what he did was bad, but also not crucifying him either. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And in this scene, when she talked about the fact that he may die in prison, and she battles with whether or not she should visit him. And I think this. I think if Erica Jane was not a housewife, I think Erica would have visited him already. I think she has to deal with, and I understand where she's coming from. I think she has to deal with the backlash that she would receive if she does do that because people think he's such a horrible person.
Wow. I never thought of that aspect of it. I never thought of that. I thought about from A to Z about what she has to endure and go through. Okay, you're married to someone for 20 years. You were in love with him. You found out he was not who you thought he was, because that would be very difficult to take in itself, knowing that he was doing
Yeah.
something like that that you did not know about. And then he gets, dementia. And so she's got to deal with that, which, by the way, Carlos, if they were still married, well, they are married. But I mean, if they weren't, if they were still together and he wasn't going to prison, she would be his caretaker right now. She would be taking care of him, and would have to watch that whole thing. Now he's going to have to go through it in prison, which thank God, he probably doesn't even know only snippets of what's actually happening. But so then she's got that element. Then she has the part I didn't think about was the TV element. You're right. She's on a national television show and the scrutiny that she's under. I don't know that America would necessarily hate her for it, though, because here's the deal. And exactly what you just said is you can't love someone for that long of your life and then
Mm-hmm.
just shut it off. A criminal is a criminal, but that doesn't mean you don't love them still once you fell in love with them, not thinking they were a criminal. It's like I couldn't just shut off my feelings if John went out and murdered someone tomorrow. I mean, I'd be like, who the hell was I married to? But it's kind of like your heart would have to heal. So I feel really, really bad for her. And I also wanted to point out she's not an emotional person on TV. She doesn't, even when she gets mad, she keeps her cool. She's just got this really cool vibe. But you could see in that massage that they were getting that I felt like she was fighting back, getting emotional on camera, because Sutton was pointing it out and going, well, are you gonna go visit him? And Erica was just laying there like, oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, I can't imagine what she has to go through, and then feeling the guilt for the families that have
Yeah.
suffered at the hands of this man. I mean, all of that is inside of you. Ugh. And she's having fun in a bedroom with another guy here and there. It's like, oh my gosh, like there's so much emotion in this poor woman that she's handling a lot, and she's actually doing it, I feel. Let me know if you feel this way. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
she's handling it with as much dignity and grace as you can when you're in her position. I really do, because
Absolutely.
I would probably be
Yes.
crying a lot more on camera, and not be able to hold my emotions as much. She's kind of
Oh,
stoic.
I could not agree with you more. And let me add to that. She's also getting sued left and right
Yes,
for people saying she has been involved in this. And for the record, a lot of stuff have been dismissed and dropped. So I don't envy her. I give Erica so much grace for what she's going through.
I agree.
Um, I think a lot of people should just leave her alone. It has not been discovered or uncovered that she was aware of it, that she took the money willingly, knowing what he was doing. None of
Did
that has
not
been
know.
uncovered. So listen, what I've learned from Teresa Giudice working with her and how she went to jail because of what her ex-husband did. Um, a lot of wives just don't know, and you trust your husband to be honest. And look, he met her as she was a cocktail waitress and kept hitting on her. She said yes, they got married. He invested in her singing career, her lifestyle. I've been watching the show since day one. She has thanked him on camera, Lexus, and cried to him, "You changed my life." And look, she also was, in a weird way, very submissive to him. He told her once to hush, and she hushed, you know?
I think they had an amazing marriage, and I think she really did love him in that way. And also, what hurts my heart, and if I had her cell phone and I was her friend, I would be the friend that would say, after losing two parents, so losses in my life, I've had
Mm-hmm.
loss. Two of the closest people in my life. I can't imagine losing a kid or a husband. So thank you, Jesus, that it was my parents and not that. But I feel in my heart, my gut, and my soul that she is going to regret it if she doesn't go say goodbye. And that is what I would text her and I would say to her, and I would say, we can do it as discreetly as possible, but let's get you there to at least have that one more moment with him, whether he remembers you or not. At least your closure is there for you. At
Yeah.
least you said I did, and he knows, and leave him a love note, leave him something, and just say, I don't know who you are really, and I'm sad that you kept this from me. Because we all know, I mean, there's not one person that can actually look at this and think that Erica knew what was going on. She trusted him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it's sad. My heart bled for her. And again, Tom did all the horrible things, and justice is being served. He is currently 86 years old.
And he
So,
has what, how many years? 7. So he would be 90, 93. Well, my grandma lived with dementia for over 10 years. So he could
mm,
technically get out.
yeah,
And, I think it's 7, wasn't 7 years his sentence?
yeah, he had a 7-year
So
sentence.
he'd be 93.
Yeah.
He
So we'll
technically could.
see. We'll see. It's a sad state of affairs.
I know.
Um, we have to get into this new housewife, Amanda Francis.
I cannot wait to get your feedback on this.
Do you want to gag?
Okay, so see, we're gonna not align on this, Carlos.
No. So wait, I'm gonna say this. Before you send me your opinion, I'm gonna say this. Amanda wrote this book called Rich as Fuck. Alexa Jansen, I bought that book 2 years ago and read it. And I had no idea. I'm like, wait, I have a hard copy of the book. The book is really good. It's a rich as fuck journal. It talks about living your most abundant year yet. And I'm big on manifestation, all those things. So I will say this. I was like, oh, I got your book, girl. I love you. I love your book. Um, we meet her courtesy of Kyle inviting her to a store in Beverly Hills. Son is there. They have
It's Hermes. They were
oh, I'm
at
sorry,
Hermes.
Hermes. Sorry, Hermes. Thank you so much. I mean, how can I forget about that palatial place? My favorite part was sort of the Birkin off. How Kyle's Birkin cost 32,000, Sutton cost 30,000, and Amanda's cost 14,000.
No, sweetie,
But
you got it wrong. You got that wrong because guess what? This Birkin person watched it.
wait,
Sutton has the 32,000 one. Kyle
oh,
has the 30. And let me just keep things real, okay? Because Detective
God.
Jansen had her goggles on and was looking at the bags and watching the money, okay? Yes. And then rich as fuck girl has the $14,000 one.
So much for that. So listen, she talks about the fact that she manifested her husband, how he approached her walking down the street. I was saying this intro scene. I like Amanda. What are your thoughts on the new housewife?
Okay. When you said, do you want to gag? I thought you were going to say you don't like her.
Oh
I
no.
like her, and I'm hearing word on the street that people don't. I like her. Don't, you can't judge her after 2 episodes anyway. I like her. I was just like, how does she, at 30 something years old, have enough money to buy a $17 million home or whatever Kyle's house was that they
Yeah.
sold? Like, it can't just come. I know she does some stuff online. She sells some courses and she wrote a book. You cannot make that kind of money off of one book. I was like, is she a trust fund kid? Is she like, what has she got going on?
Yes. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And that's why when they talked about the book, I was like, wait a second. I bought that book and I know this woman, so I'm going to
Well,
give you
first of all, ship me that book because I need to read it now. But also, second of all, Amanda, you can DM him a thank you later for the plug on your book because all the raindrops are going to go buy the book. So you're welcome for the
Yes.
free advertisement from Alexis and Carlos.
Yes, Amanda. You're welcome, babe. I'll expect a Hermes Kelly bag in my inbox. No. So to give you raindrops and you Alexis a little tidbit about Amanda Francis, excuse me, she is a self-made millionaire, multimillionaire, leading a company that operates as an 8-figure brand. She does have a digital course. She's an author. She has a podcast, an online presence. Her podcast is called And She Rises. Her company generated approximately $3 million in revenue in a single year around 2019, with 1 million of that in the first quarter alone. and has since grown to an eight-figure enterprise. She lives
Wow.
also in a $6 million home in Malibu. She got her master's in counseling. She worked as a therapist, and that's how she was able to become a life coach and a business coach. Smart woman.
Amen, sister. And I don't care if you're a mister or a sister, but good job, whoever. It's good. Proud of her. It's
Yes,
amazing.
no, it was good. So I'm here for Amanda. So getting into the all cast event, Jennifer Tilly has a party at her home. And look, the naked boys are out and drawing the penis. This, you and I love personal story scenes, but we always talked about this as we recapped OC this past season. We want to see the girls have fun. And I thought this was a funny scene to where the girls got along, they had fun. And what is the best way to bring women together than dicks? And
First
and
of
and
all,
and and men. Amen.
eventually, well, you know who likes to do what we both do. Okay. Okay. I love Jennifer. Well, one. I only
You
like
love
the.
what? You love
I
what?
only like the one. I'm settled down now. I only like the one. Um, Jennifer Tilly. I love her. I need more of her. I laughed every single, and I hate when I have to watch it by myself because now that I'm podcasting on it all the time, I have to like watch it twice, and so I have to watch it alone. But it's always more fun when John or one of my kids or somebody's sitting there and you can laugh with them. But I was laughing all by myself for the whole
Yeah.
scene with her. Her words. Oh wait, I wrote it down because I wanted. You know me. This is what made me laugh so much. She the way she says it, it's ruminate over our creative. Let's go back inside and ruminate over our creative experience. And the libations, and then Chuck or whatever his name is here for your libation pleasure. Like I'm like, I can't with it. I'm so in love with her. I want to meet her and just give her a big hug. I just like her. But okay, back to penises. So I feel like I wanted to see more penises drawn because I honestly, at the end of it, wanted to go, Alexis, can you even draw one? And I didn't yet because I haven't had time. But I really am. I'm like, I wish the women would have all focused on that, but notice that most of the women, except who had the one from here, the Kyle, the only one.
Yes.
Everyone else focused on everything else they were looking at and steered clear of the penis. And then
Erica
Kyle's
Jane's
like,
penis
Kyle
picture
zooms
was
in
the
from the
best.
knee to the belly button and just draws the knee to the belly button.
I loved it. I loved Erica's photo the best. Erica said, I'm zoning right in on the dick. It was hilarious to me. And I'm with you with Jennifer Tilly. I'm going to say this. This may be unpopular. Look, I love Kathy Hilton. I think she's great. I will admit I'm over Kathy Hilton's shtick. I think it's done and what is fine, whatever. I think a lot of it is also made up. I think Jennifer Tilly is the comedy relief the show needs, and I want to see more of her. She has this unbotheredness and this aloofness that is just hilarious to me. I don't ever see her get into an argument with anybody, and I'm fine with that. I think every show, every housewife city works when you have that one cast member who's just comedy. And
I
that's
want
what they
her
offer.
I want her full cast though, Carlos. That's what I left feeling that scene from. And I didn't
Yeah.
watch it last year and I heard she was on last season too, but I left that going, gosh, I just need more of her. Like I wish they would offer her a full, maybe she doesn't want a full orange. I mean, she's got a lot going on, obviously, but I don't know, or full diamond. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that was a slip up. But I just want for her full cast. I really adore her. So
No, I think she's great. And she brought the girls together in a very funny way. But Alexis, things got a little dark when
mm.
Dorit started talking about PK. So in an
Ugh.
earlier scene, Dorit is meeting with her parents, and she brought up her son Jagger and how Jagger is going through, which is unfortunate. Like most kids go through divorce at that age. She said he's acting different, and he really misses his grandfather. So she said, "Look, I'm gonna take them to Florida with you guys, and you guys can spend, time with him." We learn in the scene at Jennifer Tilly's home, PK is a motherfucker, and that's why I said he wants to see Dorit suffer. The fact that
Ugh.
he is trying to block the kids from going to Florida and even said like he'll go and they stay with him. And it's sort of like, dude, this has nothing to do with the issues you have with your wife. It's not like the only way I would be on PK's side is if Dorit said, me and my new boyfriend are taking the kids to Florida and you haven't met them. We just started dating and we're leaving California to go to Florida. That's the only way I would understand PK being like, now wait a second. Don't want my kids around my soon to be ex-wife's new boyfriend that they just started dating. I would get that. These are your children's grandparents. What is going to happen in Florida with your children being around your soon to be ex wife's parents? PK is not a nice person.
I really didn't like that at all. And very, I have a call coming in. Hold on. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's go back to this. Can you see me okay, Carlos?
I can.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna ignore it. Um, I did not like anything about that. I feel like adults can sometimes get lost in all of the minutiae of a divorce and all of the feelings of bitterness, angerness, hurt, what all of it. But the children cannot be in the middle. They cannot be affected from it. Those poor kids need a reprieve. They need to go basically to camp and be away from everything because they are feeling the brunt of the divorce.
Yeah.
So I hurt so bad. And you know what else? I really hurt for Dorit in that scene because she was trying so hard not to cry and to keep her composure. But I was like, she was in a lot of agony, you know? You could just
Hmm.
see it. And I just wanted to give her a big hug. And I agree with you. PK is in this moment, I don't want to say always and forever, but in this moment, he is a big piece of charcoal, like he just is. He
Yeah.
needs coal
Yeah.
in his stocking for Christmas. Leave those
No,
kids alone and let them go to see mama and papa.
I agree with you. And listen, it doesn't stop there. We learned that PK does not give Dorit any money. He expects her to pay all the bills. He his business manager tells him, I'm sorry, his business manager tells her like, "Oh, that's not paid because he's not paying for it. You have to."
But
And
Carlos, do you believe that? Where is she making money then? Or do they have enough? Do they have separate funds and she has enough in savings that she's living off of? How is she making money? Because they're not Beverly Hills ain't paying her enough to live the lifestyle she lives. You've got to have other money outside of that, just like OC. OC doesn't pay you enough to
yeah,
live the lifestyle you have. You either have the money before and you get a little bonus with that money, or you have another job. Like it's I'm just like curious. I'm like, if he doesn't help pay her, and if she's the full-time mom, that's really disgusting. That's disgusting that you're just expecting her to like raise your kids and not help her out.
yeah, because he resents her. He resents her because he's the one who told her to do Beverly Hills Housewives. He encouraged her to do it after she turned it down. He was friends with Lisa Vanderpump. He She did the casting Zoom in Paris. Um, and he invested in her failed businesses. She tried to do a swimwear line called Beverly Beach by Dorit, flopped. She tried to do wedding dresses apparel, dropped. I mean, a wedding dress line, flopped. She tried to design corners of restaurants, flopped. And I think in his mind, he feels like I invested so much in the Dorit brand that my money has run dry when it comes to you. And I do agree with you. She doesn't have enough money. Let me tell you something. She's not making that much money doing the show to where she can afford to
Right.
be a full-time mother paying for a lot of things. But the other thing too is allegedly PK doesn't have that much money either to afford the lifestyle that they had either. Hence the divorce. He doesn't like her and he wants to make her life a living hell. And unfortunately, PK is one of those men who will use the kids to do it, and that's fucked up.
That is 100% messed up. I just don't. Why does everybody think he doesn't have money? Is this just a rumor, kind of like Eddie's gay, and everybody knows Eddie's not gay? Is it just a
Yeah.
rumor that's stuck, or is this like, is there some kind of credentials to this? Like, I don't know. I don't get it because I don't know how they could continue to both live this lifestyle and look the way they do because you can. put on an act for so long, but you can't forever.
So I'm gonna
So
tell you, I have the answer for you,
okay.
and this is all documented. It's all documented. I'm not saying anything that's a rumor. These are documented. PK built a significant real estate empire in London, but faced major losses and bankruptcy during the recession, leading to allegedly financial difficulties in the U.S. He and Dorit have faced multiple IRS and California Franchise Tax Board liens for unpaid taxes over several years, with significant amounts still owed. I'll just say allegedly, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
PK has dealt with large judgments, including a multi-million-dollar debt to a Las Vegas casino
Mm.
that was resolved in 2022. Alexis, a couple of seasons ago, while Dorit and the cast were on vacation. I forgot where they were. Um, the wife of a business owner that PK allegedly owed chased down Dorit while they were filming and
Oh,
said, "My
God.
pay my husband his money back." They never aired it. They never aired it, but
Wow.
somebody recorded with a camera phone. Their Los Angeles home that is owned via an LLC faced suspension from the franchise tax board due to unpaid taxes, putting it at risk. Last but not least, he does have a history of going through bankruptcy proceedings in the UK, and his US assets were also at risk, and they're saying that unfortunately, Alexis, they has showed a pattern of financial instability despite his past success. And this is, of course,
Woo.
so it's not like people just made it up for the sake of making it up. These are well documented occurrences that have occurred. Listen, it doesn't mean that you're broke, because these are all things in businesses and not
Right.
personal. But you asked where it came from, and unfortunately, it's coming from these situations.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
then I can't help but think that Dorit's going to go dry soon if PK's not going to. I mean, she's going to have to definitely capitalize on this. She needs to capitalize on the Beverly Hills diamond, having the diamond for RHOC or
Mm-hmm.
RHOVH
Mm-hmm.
to really maximize it then. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. I
Yeah.
mean, this does, as much as we like to sit and gossip and have fun on this pod, Carlos, I do feel bad for a lot of these women.
Yeah.
I hope next season it turns around and like we see them on the other side, because there's a lot of true pain, not just TV driven pain, but true pain going on in these women's lives right now. And they're
Yeah.
still so fabulous, and I still love them all, and I just want to give them all a big hug when I see them. I
Yeah.
just, ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's interesting because for me, it has a lot to do with the fact that what you said, look, I tell my reality stars this all the time. When you're on reality television, regardless of what show you're on, please use it to your benefit outside of the paycheck that the network pays you. And this is not just Bravo, it's any network of reality show, because you don't know how long it's going to last. And if you spend your money trying to keep up with the Joneses, you are going to end up in financial strain. So I'm with you. I hope that Dorit goes through the motions of finding financial success and being able to deal with this and the expensive side of divorce. But
Mm.
also, look, Kyle, it was trying, in my opinion. Would love to get your thoughts on it. I thought Kyle was trying to give advice based on the fact that her and Mauricio were friends with Dorit and PK as couples. They traveled together, numerous double dates, hung out, all those things. But Dorit lashed out on Kyle, and Kyle looked stuck. And I felt that in that moment. This is my opinion, my opinion. I think to your point, Alexis, Dorit has to keep this job of being a housewife. And I think Dorit gave Kyle a tongue lashing because she knew it would be worthy of a great scene. But I thought it was misdirected anger, especially when the other women kind of said the same thing and she listened to them.
I
I didn't think Kyle deserved it.
I agree with that, but I read the scene. This is how I see the scene. It's similar to you, but this is how I read that is
Okay.
I felt Kyle was coming from a true, sincere place, like a place of I let's try to flip all the negative because when you get in a negative bubble in a negative tornado, it's hard to get out of it and get put and life is all about perspective, let me tell you. Because you can look at something one way or you can flip it and say, well, I got that opportunity, or you can flip it, I think Kyle was trying to bring a little positivity to a very negative subject and can see that Dorit is down on her lowest level right now and was truly just trying to say, look, we can make the most out of it. And so are the other women. I feel like Dorit feels so like is in such it has zero to give to anyone right now. She is emotionally and physically just at rock bottom and exhausted. So I feel
Mhm.
like the who do you attack the most or who do you get the mad at the most is the person you're closest to. So she was closest of all these women to Kyle. And here Kyle is not being her yes person. She needs a Dorit needs yes people right now. Even though it's hard, it's like that's she needs people to fill her up because she's got nothing to give.
Yeah.
And I feel like she was looking at Kyle like you're the last person I want you to agree with PK, but you're right about that. I didn't think about that aspect that you're like, well, we all four went together. We were all four friends. So, Kyle's trying to be a little bit more in the middle. I just think Dorit, you said it was dispersed. What did you say, call it?
Misdirect anger. Yeah.
Misdirected anger. You're 100% right. I think Dorit just she's so hurt. It's like when your teenager comes home from school and has had the worst day ever and you simply say, honey, put your backpack over there, and they go off on you, and all you're
Yeah.
doing is asking them to, and they go off and you're like, okay, I know you're not mad at me for asking you to put your backpack in the mud room where it goes. You're mad because obviously something happened at school. I feel like that's what happened to Kyle with Dorit.
Yeah.
Dorit, and you know what? I can't really get mad at Dorit right now for it though, Carlos. I feel so bad for where she's at, and I've been there. I've been at rock bottom, and emotionally, like seeing the anguish on your kids' faces and dealing with someone who's not easy to deal with, going through a divorce, like and then also mourning the loss of like I had to for a year or a year and a half. I had to give up my kids for 50% of the time. That ripped me apart. She's lucky
Yeah.
she doesn't have to. It sounds like she's the majority mom. So she should be
Yeah.
looking at that perspective and be thankful that she gets the kids most of the time because watching my kids leave and then getting them back 2 or 3 days later and seeing how just sunken they were, it like it ripped. I felt exactly. So I put myself in her. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Mm,
I've been there. I felt what she's feeling right now. So I can't really get mad at Kyle for what she did, and I'm not mad at Dorit for what she did. I think it's just one of those situations that's a no win, and it just sucks because of what's
yeah.
going on.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. It's horrible. So I'm with you, and I'm glad you offered that insight because Dorit is going through a lot. The divorce is fresh, and unlike Colin Mauricio, one thing I will give those two, um, their divorce was not messy at all. But also, the only minor child they have together is Portia. But Dorit does have two small children, and it just, like you said, Alexis, it makes it much, much, much worse. Um, all right, raindrops, the moment y'all been waiting for. Kyle Richards has admitted that she was in a relationship and she fell in love with somebody who did not want her to discuss it, did not enjoy the limelight, did not want to express it, whether it was hanging out, kissing, and all the other things. Kyle said, I'm an honest person. When I'm in love, I want the world to know about it, but I had to respect somebody else's feelings. She used the words they in describing this person. I think we all can assume, rightfully so, that she's talking about Morgan, who,
You said it, not me.
yes, I'll say it. She was talking about Morgan, allegedly. I'll just say it for those reasons. And it's funny because I've said this, I said it last year. So I told the Raindrops, because the Raindrops kept saying, why isn't Kyle acknowledging that Morgan is her girlfriend? And I said, look, I think what happened last season was Morgan had no idea, Alexis, the fame and the fandom that comes along when you are a housewife. And not just a housewife being on Bravo, on a housewife show. Kyle Richards is the OG of BH. So for you to be the first girlfriend of Kyle Richards, you best believe you have no privacy ever. And I said this, and I'm vindicated, and I was right. I said that, look, I think Morgan fell in love with Kyle, but did not fall in love with everything that came with Kyle.
You are overly, overly, overly intelligent, and you're so right. And I think that what happened is they both did fall in love. I truly believe that they both were in love. I think that Morgan gave it her best shot, and said, I'm going to try. But I know that this industry and this lifeline is not for everybody. Like, it's not. I mean, my kids don't really, they don't love it. They don't love the whole, like, usually you have one kid that might, but no, mine are just like, no, mom. And they get mad anytime I post anything. They have to approve every photo and zoom in on it. And it's like, oh, no, because I hate all the hate you get. And I don't want them commenting on my one pimple I have. Like, I feel like Morgan probably was like in over her head and just thought, I love this person, but I don't love her enough to take what comes with her. Exactly what you said. And it stinks. I mean, because who knows? Again, maybe down the road, people can, when when you lose something that you really love, maybe it's if it comes back, it's meant to be. But I feel sad for Kyle. I also feel like the women
Yeah.
should have read the room and understood that they knew it was because this person wants to stay private. They're all on the TV show together. They all know what it's like to get your picture snapped at the gas station when you have, food on your face and your hair in a bun and you don't want to be snapped. They all have that feeling. Morgan didn't sign up for it, everybody.
Hmm.
So leave Kyle alone.
Yeah. 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 No, the thing is this. When Kyle said to Erica Jane, and I want to quote this, she said, I was in a relationship. I was in a very vulnerable place in my life, and I felt hard for this person. I'm in love with somebody. I want to share that. I don't care. I'm an open person like that, but that doesn't mean the person I'm with feels the same way. She
Exactly.
also said all of the speculation and the gossip and the talking was ultimately what ended the relationship.
It was
Now,
too much.
I will say I have been told this for years because Kyle and Mauricio announced their separation, I think 3 years ago. I will say this because I know everybody and I know everything, and I choose to share. I choose to share what I want because I never want to be the first person to talk about it because I think that's messy. But I will say that what Kyle said to all of you guys is right. I was told that 3 years ago. I was told 3 years ago that she very much wanted to come out and tell the world about her and Morgan, allegedly, but that the tsunami of attention did was they weren't ready for that in the beginning, in the beginning, in the beginning, and then when she came on the show soon thereafter, meeting Morgan, that's when Morgan had to go through the tsunami of the gossip and the attention and paparazzi following her when she's not even with Kyle.
Ugh.
And
Yeah.
that is a lot to go to know. Like, listen, I'm a public figure. You're a public figure. I love the life I live because I am able to walk down the street and not have. I could not imagine what that would feel like. And I signed up for this. So the fact that Morgan fell in love with somebody and that happened to her,
Yeah.
I do get it. I do get it. And watch what happens live last night. And she had this to say, Alexis, about the whole situation.
Okay.
She said that while it was pretty obvious, no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong quote. She said Dorit said, I think that's it. That's all she ever really had to say. That's it. All you ever had to say was that, and nothing else would have followed. Um, she then said that she's a public figure, by the way, when talking about the person that Kyle was talking about.
Hmm.
She used the she pronoun. So, there you go.
Well, that's where you put your cap on, and we're like, it's Morgan that they're talking about then. So yeah, that's very very good detective work on your end. Um, Yeah, and I still don't think the women should just keep pushing at it though. I don't care if yes, Kyle should have just said at that party, when all the women they were doing the painting and they were getting asked the questions or drawings, she should have just said, "Yeah, I was dating someone, but she didn't want, or that person did not want to be, in the limelight. It stinks." I had to honor her. I think, or them, or whatever pronoun she wanted to use.
Hmm.
I think the women would have been like, oh, okay, we get it. But I also think they could read between the lines, Carlos. I don't think that, I think they're wise women, or they wouldn't be where they are in life right now, to say, okay, wait, I probably can understand why Kyle's trying to keep it a little bit private. But
Hmm.
you're on a reality show and they need a good scene and there's got to be some kind of drama. So why not just pick at Kyle and be like, why are you lying to us? We already know. Well, you're lying, they and just want to dig
Hmm.
at it. So there you have it.
Look, and I'll say this, Kyle. Thank you for telling us that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And because of that, there's no need to ever talk about it again. Like I will say
Exactly.
this, that's all I wanted for Kyle was to say that. I said it last season. I kept maybe listen. I do know that some members of Kyle's team they do listen to my podcast. So shout out to
Why?
Team Kyle. Shout out to Team Kyle. But I will say I've been saying that all last season, recapping the show. I will say that Carlos King is happy and satisfied with Kyle's answer, and you don't ever have to worry about me talking about it again.
And the
I'm
girls
good.
better leave her alone. At this point,
Yeah, at
leave her
this point,
alone. Yeah,
I'm good.
leave it be.
Let it be. Let it be. All right.
All
Well,
right.
listen. We have to let ourselves be. Thank you so much, Alexis Jansen, for hopping on the Beverly Hills recap. We'll be back next week. Have a good weekend,
Yeah.
Raindrop. You too, Alexis.
Bye,
I'll see you
raindrops.
soon.